Welcome to FPL Selection. Today we will see how the team is shaping up for Game Week 35, but first a quick look at how we got on in Game Week 34. So a total score of 62 minus 4 meant a huge drop down to just inside the top 8,000. Quite disappointing really, as this was sort of my big play for the end of the season, was to go for the free hit in 33 and sort of keep a slightly different squad to the majority. We're going to free hit in 34, and obviously the free hit 34 went incredibly well for anyone that did it. Pretty much all the big picks going up against the relegated teams all got huge scores, and I got the captaincy wrong as well, so yeah, it was a bit of a disaster really. And yeah, haven't seen a rank that low for most of the season really, so yeah, a bit disappointing. And yeah, probably unlikely I'm going to get anywhere near the top 1,000 now, which was sort of the aim for the end of the season. But yeah, I'll see what next week brings and just have to keep going. But I think, yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to get a sort of a 3-figure rank from this point. Obviously the hit didn't help either, but it had to be done to try and get 11 out. So it is what it is. But top scorers were Salah with 8 points. Yeah, got a return again finally, so yeah, it might be a nice end of the season for Salah. Isak got 12 as captain, just the 1 goal, so a bit disappointing with that really, against Ipswich. And Cunha probably saved the game week really. It's one of my transfers in this week, 15 points. Didn't really consider him for captaincy, it was sort of a long shot really, but just a bit worried about playing less minutes maybe, but seeing as he looks like he might be on his way out at the end of the season. But yeah, can't imagine how bad it would have been if I didn't bring him in this week, so yeah, wasn't a complete disaster. Anyway, let's look ahead now to Game Week 35. So I've got no transfers planned for this week and not really got my eye on anything, so I'm not going to really talk much about my plans. I'm just sort of going to play it week by week and see what I feel, have a few punts. That's why I'm probably going to save this week, build up a couple of transfers, and then I can just sort of pick and choose over the last 3 weeks, maybe getting some differential captains and have a real pop at getting as high a rank as possible. So yeah, nothing standing out for me this week. I've got a decent squad, decent first sub, so yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it and see what happens this week. So let's take a look at the defence. Pope is away to Brighton. Now, I'm not really seeing much chance of a clean sheet there. I think Brighton have always got the potential to score. Actually, the last 3 games have had quite a lot of goals. I think it's sort of 4, 5, maybe 6 goals in the last 3. So yeah, I mean, not really too hopeful there. There's not much to say really. I don't think Pope offers much other than clean sheet potential. So yeah, probably just another 2-pointer there for Pope. But yeah, I don't think playing Sales away at Palace is going to be any better. So yeah, I'll probably just stick with Pope this week. And Kirkers is away at Arsenal. It'd be interesting to see what sort of side Arsenal put out. Obviously they're going to rotate a fair bit, you'd imagine, with the second leg of the PSG semi-final coming up next week. So yeah, I've got a little bit of hope there for Bournemouth, especially with their high pressing style, and Arsenal play quite a weakened side. Might be some chances there for Kirkers to get forward. And for me, Arsenal without their best players are not the best going forward, especially if Saka's not on the pitch, and maybe Odegaard gets rested as well. So could be a sneaky chance of a clean sheet there. So yeah, I'm quite happy to play Kirkers this week. Then Williams is away to Palace. Obviously a disappointing loss for Forest tonight against Brentford, so they're up against it now to get that top 5 in the Champions League spot. Now, don't really know how to call this game because I think Forest are going to be obviously highly motivated for that top 5, and Palace have obviously got one eye on the FA Cup final. But I think that almost plays into Palace's hands a little bit in the fact that they've just got, nothing to lose really. They're not too concerned with the league now, so they do play with a bit of freedom. Might be some chances for them, so yeah, I'm not too sure on the Forest clean sheet in this one, but again, I don't really have any better options in my squad, so yeah, Williams will be sticking there for now. And Munoz at home to Forest. Again, not really seeing much chance of a clean sheet here. I think it's... yeah, you just think they're going to be looking at that cup final and maybe there's going to be a bit of rotation, but maybe they could be looking to keep the rhythm, and Munoz is there for attacking returns anyway, really, so although whether he does get rested at some point, it'd be interesting to see how they play it. Maybe he'll play like an hour or something and might be able to bag a clean sheet before coming off. Yeah, but again, Munoz is there for the attacking returns. That's why I'm probably going to keep him the rest of the season. So moving on to the midfield, and Salah, as always, is there. Chelsea away. Now, Liverpool obviously have sealed the title, so for Salah now it's just about trying to break as many records as he can. I think he's pretty close to the sort of top goals and assists combined record, so obviously he'll have one eye on that. Chelsea away, don't really see any issue there with scoring goals against Chelsea. They're not the best defence. Obviously Liverpool going to be sort of in a bit of a party mood, relaxed, now they've won the league. Might just sort of, they might not have the motivation as such to win, but the sort of, the lack of pressure and the relaxation, might be a few goals in that game, so probably not going to captain Salah this week. I am trying to go against him a little bit, but I think he'd be a good shout this week, to be honest. Probably be my vice captain, I'd say. Then Eze is at home to Forest. Now, in all honesty, I was looking to get rid of him last week and was potentially going to transfer him out this week, but I saw his goal in the Cup semi-final and just the way he's played in the last few games, he's really starting to look like a top player again. He's getting that consistent run since his injury, and yeah, that goal was really nice in the Cup semi, and scored a couple of beauties recently as well, so I think he might get limited minutes, maybe at 60-70, but he's a class player and he's always got the potential to pull something out of nothing, so yeah, really didn't want to sit him on my bench this week, so he's in ahead of Murphy this week. And Kluivert is away at Arsenal. Again, as mentioned earlier, we don't know what sort of team Arsenal are going to put out, and if it is heavily rotated, then obviously it plays into Bournemouth's hands. Kluivert's one of the talisman for Bournemouth, and yeah, you can see a few returns here if it is a weakened Arsenal side. The high pressure from Bournemouth, they're obviously trying to get a top sort of 7-8 finish to get into Europe, so yeah, it could be nice to have the two Bournemouth players this week. Obviously Arsenal, nothing really to play for in the league either. Then Parma is at home to Liverpool. Again, I'm not seeing anything better this week, so Parma probably would have been one of the ones first on the list to go, but he might end up just staying in my team the rest of the season. He's surely got to pull something out before the end of the year. We've seen the talent of the player. It's obviously a confidence issue, so he'll stay in there for now, especially if Liverpool were a bit more relaxed. There might be a few goals in that one, like I mentioned earlier, so yeah, I'm not too upset having Palmer still in my side, but yeah, it would be nice to move him on at some point, because yeah, it just doesn't look like coming at the moment. Moving on to the forwards, Isak is away to Brighton. So he did get his goal against Ipswich, but it was a little disappointing not to see a bit more. As I mentioned earlier, Brighton have been involved in some real high-scoring games recently, so certainly not the best at the back at the moment. And I'm not sure if Van Heck is going to be out for this one again, so it could be a weakened defence for Brighton. But I think Isak will stay the rest of the season for me. He's just so consistent. And I think I'm going to captain him this week. Not really inspired anywhere else, and I don't just want to go Salah because I don't think I'm going to gain anything from that, so might just stick on Isak again this week, and maybe he'll make up for last week. with a few more returns in this Brighton game. And Cunha is away to City. Now Cunha, again, since he's come back from his suspension, he's just showing that what a player he is, and really happy if United do end up signing him. I think he can score in any game against anyone, and the City away fixture's not really putting me off at all. I think he's the talisman for Wolves. He's just can pull something out of nothing, and he only needs one return for max bonus, so it's almost a 9-point goal if he does score. So yeah, I can see him getting something, because I don't think City are still sorted at the back anyway, that's for sure. And Chris Wood is away to Crystal Palace. So we didn't get any newborn bounce from him against Brentford. I think Palace away, as mentioned earlier, it's one of them. It could be a really good fixture if they're not concentrating, they're looking at the cup, or potentially the relaxation and, you know, no pressure on them, nothing to play for. Yeah, it's a difficult one to call. I'm just hoping that he's going to get the chances that he can put away and keep up that early season form that was just doing my head in when I didn't own him. So yeah, I think I'd rather have Watkins this week, to be honest, and I would like to bring him in, but I know what's going to happen is if I do take Wood out, put Watkins in, it'll probably end up scoring. So yeah, I think it's just safer. I'll just keep him for the rest of the season and see where we end up there. So just to summarise then, I think I'm going to go Isak captain. So I'm not really inspired by much this week, so maybe he can repay from the sort of low figures he got against Ipswich last week. Vice captain on Salah, just, and again, nothing really springs to mind on this week. And yeah, probably save the transfer so I can build up a few for the last 3 weeks. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.